With the next generation of consoles coming out next month, I wanted to take a look back at the last decade and talk about my top 10 games of the last decade. This was really tough. There were a lot of games that barely didn't make the cut, but this is my personal list. So if you think a game belongs on here, well, either didn't play it or you're too much of a fanboy. But anyways, let's get started with my list. Uncharted 4 is pretty much Indiana Jones on steroids. The final chapter of Nathan Drake's story does not disappoint. Nathan is older, he's married, but he wants one last score. He embarks on a journey to find Henry Avery's treasure, something that him and his brother have been searching for decades. The action, story, and graphics are better than they have ever been, and this is a classic game. Cuphead, in my opinion, is the second greatest 2D platformer of all time. The art design of this game is one of a kind. The old cartoon graphics are phenomenal. Although it looks like a kid's game, it's far from that. It's definitely one of the more challenging 2D platformers of the decade. God of War is one of the greatest games ever made. The combat in this game is fantastic, with amazing moves and skills that you can upgrade throughout the entire game. The boss fights are some of the best I have seen in gaming history. The story of Kratos and his son is intriguing, and the places you journey to in this game are absolutely stunning. You can't miss out on this game. You really have to exercise your brain in this one. Portal 2 is the greatest puzzle game of all time, and it isn't even close. You are a test subject in an underground lab, you have a portal gun, and you have to go through a series of rooms. Each room gets more challenging than the last as you go through a laboratory with your portal gun. Nothing has satisfied me more in gaming than completing a room in Portal 2 that you get stuck on. I absolutely loved Red Dead Redemption 2. I find that people either love this game or they hate this game. And the reason why some people hate this game is the reason why other people love the game. It's quite strange. But what I do know is that this is an all-time classic and I love these outlaws. I got so into the story that I would change the appearance of Arthur based on the story and what he was going through. There is a part in the game where you would go on a date with a woman, so I shaved my long grizzly beard, combed my hair, and put on a nice outfit. I absolutely love this game. The side missions are amazing, and this is arguably the most beautiful open world game ever made. Overwatch is the second best first-person shooter of all time. The game is pretty much League of Legends with guns. Every character has unique abilities with different weapons, which makes the replayability really good in this game. Also, it takes a lot of teamwork and good communication. This game is one of a kind and deserves a spot on this list. Mario Galaxy 2 is the greatest Mario game ever made. There, I said it. The music, the crazy platforming, the bosses, there's just something magical to this game. The creativity in this game is the gold standard for Nintendo. The first Mario Galaxy was a near perfect game, and they somehow improved on that formula with Mario Galaxy 2. The game has a special place in my heart. It's what got me back into streaming, and I plan on playing it every December because it is a Nintendo masterpiece. Before I go into my top 3, I wanted to show you guys some honorable mentions, or in other words, games that barely didn't make the cut. Talk about a game tugging at your heartstrings. There has never been a game that has gotten me more emotionally invested than The Last of Us. It's not that high on the list for gameplay, although there are some really fun parts in this game. The reason why it is so high is because of the relationship between Joel and Ellie and what it evolves into throughout the game. It is a beautiful story of two people trying to survive an apocalypse of the infected. I don't want to spoil the story. Please go play this game if you haven't already. You won't regret it. GTA 5 is pretty much a sandbox of fun. Fly around on jets, crash cars into people, blow stuff up, get chased by police. It's a wild game. There is so much you can do in this game. The campaign is awesome with a lot of crazy heists and missions, but the best part of the game is the online mode. Playing that with your friends is always a good time. Doing missions for cash to buy nice cars gives some replayability, and there are also a lot of awesome multiplayer game modes made by the community. This game is without a doubt one of the best games ever made. Are you guys really surprised that I picked the Zelda game number 1? You could argue that this is the greatest game ever made. If I were to pick one game to play for the rest of my life, I am most likely picking this game. There's just so much that you can do in this game. Every time you play through it, you will have a different experience, I guarantee it. You literally get to decide how you play the game, how you beat the games. There are no guidelines. What you do in this game is completely your choice. You can either go straight to Ganon and try to kill him, or you can track down all of the divine beasts and power up the Master Sword. It has beautiful cartoon graphics, and it has so many secrets hidden inside the large map for you to discover. It was a tough decision, but this is the best game in the last decade. What do you guys think of my list? What is your guys' all-time favorite game of last decade? Let me know in the comments. Also, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.